evening. Here is top news newsletter, starting with the headline. More of terrorist organizations' position targeted in the army continued crackdown. Iraqi army prepared for third stage to crush ISIL in Salah ad-Din. Russia launched massive military drill in South. Terrorist organizations had more of their gathering and position targeted in the courses of the army operation. Several of terrorist gatherings and hideouts were destroyed by the army units in the northern Aleppo province in the area of Rashidin neighborhood, Old City, Khan al-Asal, Al-Sha'ir, Bab al-Hadid, Al-Mallah Farm, and Salah ad-Din. The operations also resulted in the destruction of several of their vehicles. These vehicles, which equipped with heavy machine guns, were destroyed by the army unit in Armanaz and Tallaz in the countryside of Idlib, where the terrorists using vehicles were killed. In the northern countryside of Latakia, army units killed many terrorists after gathering and hideouts in Selma, Kafr Delba, Al-Khirid, Miraj. The army also destroyed a cache with all weapons and ammunition inside it in Tersha area. In the northern region, army units targeted more hideouts for terrorists in the area of Tafaz, Atman, Kafr al-Sham, Al-Jasim in the countryside of Dara and in Dar al-Balad neighborhood in the city. More terrorists were killed and their vehicles were destroyed in Al-Lajat area in the countryside. Syrian health minister said that hepatitis A case registered in Syria is considered within natural average and there is no disease epidemic according to the standard of a World Health Organization. Health Minister Nizar Liazaji said that the minister is following up procedures to keep health in general and to protect citizens from infections through holding field tours to shops, restaurants and schools. He affirmed that the disease isn't fatal with a high rate of recovery within 2 weeks. The arms of U.S. is sending to what is called Syrian moderate oppositions are winding up in the hands of extremists, which further exaggerates the situation, as the Russian Foreign Minister spokesman Alexander Lukashevich warned. A case in point that a Russian official cited in the accident when Jabhat al-Nusra launched a large offensive against the U.S.-backed Hazm movement, seizing a massive amount of weapons. Many moderate figures joined the terrorist organization, raising serious doubts as where the U.S. arms are ending up. The U.S. has recently unveiled a program to train what is brand moderate fighters in Turkey, and an appellation is used to designate fighters. It deceived as opposed to extremists, despite intelligence and media reports maintaining that they don't exist amid Syrian oppositions largely dominated by extremist group. He also said that a new round of Syrian consultative meeting is due to Moscow in April. Russia hosts a round of inter-Syrian dialogue in Moscow, which ended on January 29. The Syrian government's delegation and the 5 opposition groups agreed to see the Russian proposed principle called the Moscow Principles that focus on perceiving Syria's unity and fighting terrorism. The Iraqi army and the popular mobilization forces are completing their preparation to start the third stage of the campaign, which aims at expelling ISIL from Salah ad-Din province and providing the military troops with positions of direct confrontation with the terrorist group in Tikrit. The Iraqi army units and popular mobilization forces continued targeted ISIL's sites in the city in order to isolate their gatherings and to cut off their supply lines. ISIL terrorists deliberately torched an oil field eastern of Tikrit. The Russian defense minister had launched large-scale military exercises involving over 2,000 troops and some 500 items of weaponry in southern Russia, including in Caucasus. The field tube exercises of the air defense forces will be taking place until April 10 in 12 military firing ranges located in Russia's south, the north of Caucasus, and the Crimean Federal District, as well as the Russian military base in Abkhazia, south of Armenia. The training day will last for 10 hours, and the half of the drills will take place at night. During the month-long drill, Russian troops will be practicing tactical, special and technical skills alongside driving modern military equipment, shooting and fire control. At the end of the field drill, tactical maneuvers are planned, the statement said. Combat units will repel strikes from the aggressor's tactical aircraft, drones and weapon projectiles. They will also carry out operational reconnaissance of the air situation and condition of electromagnetic warfare, as it added. The general military commander of the Nusra Front Al-Qaeda official wing in Syria has been killed in airstrikes by the US-led coalition. Abu Hamam al-Shami did also as a coalition heads a high-level Nusra Front meeting in the northwestern province of Idlib. Al-Shami is one of the most senior Nusra Front figures to be killed since the group formed in 2011, fighting in Afghanistan, Iraq and Syria. Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Saud al-Faisal called for the US-led coalition to fight the terrorist group from the Islamic State group in Syria and Iraq on the ground. The kingdom is a part of the coalition, which is now conducted aircraft and air strikes against ISIL terrorist group. Saudi Arabia stressed the end of provide the military means needed to face this challenge on the ground. Faisal said during a joint press conference with the U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry. That's all for today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Inas Ahmed. Good night.